Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com. And by Medical Arts Hearing Instruments, 52 West Street in Leominster. Locally and authentically providing better hearing and quality of life since 1978. www.donotshout.com.
Welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and we're live tonight. It's a Thursday night, a little cool out there, but no bad weather in sight, and that's a good thing. And by next week, we'll be halfway through January, and then, it's really been the month of February in the last, since 2015, that's really come back to hit us with real winter. So we think we're out of the woods, and then all of a sudden February comes and the snow and the ice and the cold and everything else comes at us. So hopefully that won't happen this year. Hopefully that we've got that out of the way in the month of December. But even so, it's winter. Let's go right to the phones, because here's a guy that is the person for all seasons, and none other than the Art. Art, how are you?
Good. I'm still working on the award. Make sure they get the spelling right, okay?
I think it's duly noted.
Okay. First off.
Yes.
By far, the best speech ever.
Really? Everybody says that.
And the ending, 01453.
No matter.
Couldn't have done any better.
All the places you will go,
perfection.
The places you will see, you will always be part of 01453.
And that is all encompassed by the fact that you and your staff, you're only as good as what you are around you.
That's
but
right.
You bring a lot to the table as well.
Team.
And it showed.
Team.
Nice job.
Team effort.
Now, sorry we weren't there.
That's okay.
But we're still going through a lot of things, as you know.
Yes.
Now, a couple of tips here. One is, if you have clear glassware, and you leave a few glasses in the sink that are clean on the rack, and in the morning, first thing, if you're going to take some medication, you grab one. I always turn it upside down and give it a quick shake, because that stuff gets chipped occasionally, and the chip is the same color as the glassware. You're not going to see it. You put water in it, and you drink it, you're going to swallow the chip.
Whoa.
So I always do that. Because I had a hang-up over Staples and Chinese food. I used to always double-check the bag, make sure there was enough. If there were 4 Staples in the bag when I opened it, I wanted to make sure there weren't one inside my
you used to laugh at
lobster sauce.
You used to laugh at me, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of people laughed at me. Now they understand that my phobia was.
That's right. Now I got one more for the kiddos out there that are waiting for the buses in the dark. So that must be high school. The other morning, I'm going up to get the papers, and I made it around it. Just started around the corner, and I thought I saw something move, so I got on the brake and I looked. There was 3 or 4 children sitting on the ground in black clothing in the dark, waiting for the bus. Thank God I didn't cut the corner shot. So be aware, folks, and kiddos, stand up so we can see you. That would have been something. No. Now, any news on Sunoco on Route 13?
Nothing. I asked the building inspector if they've been in at all, and he said nothing. They haven't been in to make inquiries. They haven't called us. I checked with everybody, and nothing. I don't know what's going on.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And how about I got one more for you?
Yes.
Because I know when the city wakes up and goes to sleep, you know the pulse 24/7.
Yes.
That that Bill Farm up here in the back of me at the country club.
Yes.
Well, at the old Harris Farm, they put up a huge building, and it says not for sale. Do you have any idea what that's going to be for?
So it was a renovation of the barn,
Yeah.
but it turned into a house.
Oh, it has. Okay.
So
It's going to be a big one.
a few steps back to get the right sort of permitting, and he'll be back on his way.
Wow.
He's done a nice job with those barns and everything
it's
up
beautiful.
there.
They took the barn where they had all the cows in it and redid that. Boy, that'd be perfect for somebody that's a car collector.
Out in Pennsylvania, obviously even they've been affected by agriculture, so they took a old sort of cow barn, I guess, and they're very long and narrow, right?
Yeah.
And so what they did is they fixed it all up and put a new roof on it, similar to what he did, and all the Amish people bring all of the things that they make, and they bring it to this building, and it's all cleaned up now. There's no cows in it or anything, and then people come from all over, like myself or whatever, and that's where you buy all your furniture and things that are made by the Amish. It's a wholesale, it's all
cool.
made by them, but it's sold to the industry.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
it's got to be, 500 feet long or so, and so they found another use for it. But it's interesting because everything's changing out there. You know how they say Borden's and the Gorelick Farms file for bankruptcy. So out in Pennsylvania, what's happening now is they have a contract with the farmers, and they buy up everything, like all the milk that comes off of a particular farm might go to Wegmans, or all of the, whatever the agricultural, mostly milk, but
They
it gets
contract it out.
the
I see.
whole
Yeah.
thing, every drop of milk that comes out of there. And then there are those national chains of gas stations, those big ones that are national.
Yeah.
They actually contract out, and some of them actually have their own farms where the milk and the eggs come right from their farms, and these are like something that's similar to the Cumberland Farms, on that scale.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some of the names of them. They're right on the tip of my tongue, but maybe somebody out there remembers them. But they're mostly from Pennsylvania south, and their big gas stations have diesel fuel and sometimes showers for the people that drive trucks. But it's interesting because it's changing, and I think what happens is, as long as you raise the chickens or the cows and you do everything according to their standards, then you work off a percentage. So they'll give you a percentage of the gross, whatever comes out of there. They give you 10% of, if it's wholesale numbers $1 million, they give you 10% of whatever that is.
That's great.
Yeah, so it takes the risk, some of the risk out of, from the farmers who don't know from year to year what's going to happen. And so I think it just levels out the playing field. But with milk today, I think what's happened is people don't, I don't know how many people actually drink. So these companies are saying, well, our business is off, people aren't drinking milk. Well, people are still drinking milk, but they drink almond milk and coconut milk and, seaweed milk. And
Oh, I know. It's unbelievable.
And maybe people aren't drinking whole milk, or maybe they are, but they're called Get and Go. Yes, that's one of the ones, Get and Go. And so maybe people aren't drinking conventional whole milk or 2%, but these big companies had an opportunity to sort of drift away and go to those things like, the chocolate milk and, the organic milks and and those crafty kind of milks. And some of them are too big and they haven't done that. But for the most part, people are still drinking milk. They're drinking different kinds of milk today, right? So.
How about the lightning the other night? Took down that big tree on 13.
And simultaneously, another tree went down from the wind on Merriam Ave, and then we had that winter sudden splurge of a whiteout.
Oh, that storm come in. It was crazy.
That's New England. And then the cold front came in, and luckily the DPW, we called down there and said, hey, don't send anybody home. Let's make sure that the streets don't freeze up, and then the winds will dry them out, and it's exactly how it worked. It worked out pretty good.
Well, I got one more for you. Concern. It just come up to me thinking about the trees. Every time I go to Framingham to visit my grandson and family, on 117 and right after the railroad tracks by Cully's. All the trees on that stretch are swamps on both sides, and those trees are leaning. It's only a matter of time, unfortunately. I think somebody's going to get nailed with one of those trees coming down.
It's like a little canopy over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And the
you know,
trucks.
it's kind of cool in the summer,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
wonder.
And the trucks drive through, and the leaves are only right at the very top of the tallest truck that drives through there.
Yep.
Sort of
exactly.
brushes it.
Exactly.
Well, hello.
Okay, buddy. And again, wonderful job at the inauguration.
you.
Everybody did a good job. But that speech we had is on the edge of the couch. I'll tell you right now.
All right,
that
good.
was beautiful.
All right, good.
Because you know what? There was no bull in it. It was all fact.
No, I don't.
And it was a good job.
I don't
So,
add
thank
any
you.
bull. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hart, and the best to the missus.
Thank you very much. I'm going upstairs. I'll tell her the minute I get up there.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Get and Go. Get and Go is the name of those gas stations. But there's another one. It's Chico's, or I don't know. Somebody will call. But there's a number of one of them starts with a S, I think. Wawa. That's it. Wawa. Yeah, well, Kathy, you should have said. Hey, we're going to take a short break here at Inside Leominster. Then I'm coming back with Kathy DeRusso, and we'll find out what's going on with her. And, yeah, we'll take a short break.
They didn't do it. That's not my next career.
We have a little citation here for you, congratulating you. When we first saw that you were opening here and you're working inside, we came by every night getting excited.
Thank you.
Posted a few pictures on Facebook, but didn't tell anybody where it was. But you did it as I watched and as it filled up, and the colors and the painting and the ceiling, it just looked magnificent in here. You did a
Thank you.
beautiful job. What a great addition to downtown. So we have a little citation, but I'll just get a chance. So why did you, what made you think of, starting this business and also coming here? Because it's luxury consignment, so you can kind of explain what that is.
The true story is it happened over a night of drinking mojitos.
Aha! At least she's on it.
That is the true story. It was just talked about that quite a few women my age that are friends were traveling outside the area. Wakefield, Newburyport, different areas for high-end consignment stores. And that's when I realized there was nothing local. And so I talked to my husband in the morning, and he thought it was a great idea, and I called a couple girlfriends, and they were all on board and knew the town could support it. And talked to Peter Vivenzi about it, and I was in luck because Brady's was opening in the same time frame I was, so it was a perfect opportunity to two new businesses to come in together.
And so you filled it up. I mean, this is pretty full.
We have a
but
lot
you're
of
selective
consigners.
what you
We're very
purchase,
selective.
right? So how do people go about if they want to come in with clothing? How do they?
They
Is there
can
certain
come-
times of the day?
Nope,
Or just,
we are not doing appointments. They don't have a limit on how many items. They can just come in and drop off items, and there's a contract, and we keep, it's a 60-40 split, and we keep things for 60 days.
yeah, you can either take the 60-40 split or let it sit in your closet.
In your closet.
And it'll just sit there.
And we're back here at Inside Leominster, and yeah, we're just talking. It's a nice place. You did a great job. It's right over there at on Manning Ave. Everybody's like, "Where's Manning Ave?" It's that street that cuts through from where the old Enterprise Bank was. It runs along the river, and then it comes out where the Brady's is now. It's that street that cuts through.
Yep.
And they did a great job. I mean, it's high end, and she does a 60-40 split. I think after 60 days or so, if it doesn't sell, she gives you a call and decide what you want to do with it. But it clearly fills a need, as they say.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, my guest is no stranger to Inside Leominster here. Kathy DeRusso is here. We're going to be talking about the 9th annual Pink in the Rink at the DCU Center. And the reason I asked her to come on is it's less than a month. Well, it's about a month away. So we really want to try to pump everybody up and get everybody there. We have our own little section with Leominster people.
Right.
And so we want to make it even bigger this year.
Hopefully,
Right?
that's the goal. That's definitely the goal. I mean, I'm amazed that it's 9 years. It started with the Sharks, and then when they went away for 2 years, the Fitchburg State University Falcons took us in, and we had a great event there. And then when the Railers dropped the puck, they said, we want you back. So it's a really fun night. You can't get out with a family of 4 for under $100 to too many things. And Worcester's up and coming. I mean, with
Restaurants
the Paw Sox
around,
coming and
stuff
everything
going
else.
on.
Yeah.
And again, you have that host section that you have.
Yep.
And it's awesome time. Tickets you can get at 435 Grill, which is downstairs,
Yep.
City Hall, Global Fitness, Gas Bar, and Central Cup.
And of course, through me.
And through
Anybody
you.
can find me.
And tickets are $15. They're really worth $22 to $28 a piece, but for this special occasion, $15. I mean, you can't beat
Right,
that.
you can't.
And it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's
It is a fun game. I mean, the first year we did it, and still to this day, my favorite part is like when the young kids who play hockey or go to games, they come up the steps and then they walk in and they see the pink ice and they're like, whoa,
How
it's
cool.
just really cool. This year, the Railers are playing against the Gladiators.
Atlanta Gladiators.
Which is the bottom, they're working their way up to be Bruins. That's part of the Bruins organization, I guess. They're an affiliate, I guess you would
The
say.
Atlanta Gladiators?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that
you
should
might go
generate
see
a lot of
somebody
interest.
that plays hockey, and a few years from now, they could end up being on the Bruins. So.
Oh, cool. And it's good hockey. I mean, it's great hockey. It's a lot of fun. They
Yes.
throw T-shirts out in the middle. I mean,
Right.
there's no dull moments going on around there. There's either somebody coming off the boards or somebody,
Yeah.
sending off T-shirts in the.
Right. Well,
in the
plus they fly
audience.
the little planes
Everything.
around.
A drone out there.
Zamboni rides.
There's everything going on.
I'm
out
challenging people. Anybody wants to buy 200 tickets from me, they have a free Zamboni ride.
There. Really? You're
Yeah.
going to give up your ride
I
through
will
the
give up my
Zamboni?
ride if someone buys 200 tickets
Not
from
bad.
me. Yeah.
Not bad. Pink ice, pink jerseys, jersey auction, pink hair stations, and an awesome time for a great cause. And again, the cause is
Find a cure to breast cancer.
right. And so you've done a lot of work, and there's a lot of other people that support you around here and never say no to you. And
It's a great community. It really is.
And this, let's go to the call. Caller, hello. Are you out there?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
Not much.
Not much. What do you mean, not much?
McDonald's.
It says McDonald's. It says here, Bloomberg, breaking news said you can now make 6 figures working at Taco Bell.
Oh, boy.
What do you think of that?
Crazy.
What's Kyle got to say here?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, there
right,
you go,
thank you,
Kyle.
thank you, thank you,
You're always
thank you,
thinking of
Carl.
something. So what are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
You already eat, or you're at McDonald's?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I got some of the sandwiches from City Hall. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And when you go to work tomorrow, tell them free apple pies for everybody. Just like George Washington. Free-
Yep.
Cut down the apple
That
tree.
was cherry.
Cherry tree. Cherry pies for everybody.
Actually, now they have a new holiday pie. This is like a sugar cookie pie.
A sugar cookie pie.
Yep.
I don't know, Kathy. It sounds good, but
Trying to behave.
trying
It's
to
a new year.
follow that keto diet.
Oh, are you?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
Are you a comedian?
What do you have, 2% body fat on you?
No, there's more than that. I got to get rid of that winter man gut thing.
We have a
the
big
holiday man gut thing.
We have an annual contest at work, and I have to get on a scale Monday. So I'll be eating ice cubes.
So you'd be licking the banana.
Sniffing the pie-flavored candle.
Yeah, just and then getting the root beer popsicles. The
It's all
diet
the young
ones.
people. It's all the young. I work with a lot of young people.
I know, you're trying to keep up.
Well, I don't like that much sweets that much.
You don't, not according to what
I
I
have to be in
seen.
the mood for it.
Wait a minute, not according to what I seen. I seen you polish off almost the whole thing of cookies.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? Well, all right, free you tell them tomorrow, free cherry pies for everybody up in Gardner for the at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, they don't have no mayor at the moment.
That's right. No mayor, they're mayorless. Tell them I'm up and we're going to take over up there. And then we're giving free French fries, free pies, everything. Just going to open the window up.
And I think you might know who she is. Her name is Mandy. She went to Leominster High years ago.
She did?
Yep.
Did they make a song after her? Oh,
don't know.
Mandy. Is that the name of the song? Is that Barry Manilow's song? Oh, man. Remember that? That's a
Yeah,
good
you
one.
came and you
You
gave
came,
without
yeah.
breaking. Yeah.
And then you left.
When
Taking
can
me
I
away.
see you again? You want to see you on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on from here on in. I know I'm going to the chamber breakfast tomorrow. And then, I don't know,
Nice.
there's a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow, and it's busy tomorrow night. It's Saturday, and
Yeah.
I haven't looked that far. I have a new thing now. I don't look. I just look like what's in front of me, because you just gobble your brain up if you just can't. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Sunday turns to Monday, and all of a sudden you're like,
And you're not quite sure you're going to make it to that far.
yeah.
Why
Like,
plan?
Yeah, well, just. All right, so.
All right, I'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right, over and out, as they say, on 4th
Take
Street.
care, buddy.
Over
Bye-bye.
and out.
Bye.
All right, 978-537-7777. 60 is the number to call, extension 3. And that puts you in touch with us. Kathy's off to California tomorrow, are you?
No,
Where
Florida.
are you going?
Florida.
Tomorrow? Good.
For work.
No, I didn't think you were, like, bringing a
I am
surfboard
visiting
or
a
anything.
few relatives first. I'm visiting my old friend David Roy from Leominster.
Really?
He lives down there, yeah. I'll see David on my return trip. But it's a staff leadership conference. It's all the young people I work with.
And how's James and Sylvia Callahan down
James
here
and
at
Sylvia
Brooks
Callahan.
Pond?
They're doing well.
Are
yeah.
they surfing on the ice skating on the little pond out there?
They're hoping the warm weather comes soon because cold winter is kind of boring. There's not a lot to do for elderly
You
folks.
take up
but-
bird watching and pretty cool things to watch. And
My mother told me today, though, my father, they were talking about Leominster, and he said, I'd like it there. I'd
See?
like to live there.
and he came from what town?
We grew up in Ayr.
In Ayr.
And
yeah.
then they lived in Florida for a while. They have a house at the Cape. if
Oh, that's
anybody's
right. They were living at the
interested.
Cape.
If anybody's interested, I was just telling Carl, I work for Anthony Kennedy Shriver, who's,
Yeah, where's your button anyway?
well, I didn't bring it because it's in my
Oh.
suitcase. I'm really excited.
Well, you were
19
afraid you were going to forget it.
Right, 1972, McGovern Shriver campaign pin.
Wow.
So I'm going to wear it on the ship and see if he notices. Because
he
it was
picks
his
up on
father.
it.
He would have been like 7 years old maybe when his father ran for vice president. Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of the prince there, Harry? Basically saying, yeah, we're going to go out on our own and.
This is what I think.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, they're like,
Life is rough. Oh,
We're
no,
gonna-
I don't want to be the prince
we're gonna
anymore.
go
They want to
and-
make their own money.
That's what they said. Where are they going to go? Like 7-Eleven or Dunkin' Donuts? Or where do they? What do you mean they're going to make their own money? Doing what?
Who knows? He doesn't like his wife crying, and so that's it.
Are you kidding me? If I was down there, remember in the part in The Wizard of Oz when the lion they grab the carpet and they take the vase, and that's how I'd be walking around all day long down there.
I do have to
I
agree
were
with the
king
fact.
of the
All right,
forest.
all right, but when they made the poor young man walk behind his mother's casket, you know, when he was young, he was 9 years old.
yeah, that's
I mean,
tough.
there are some weird traditions that could go away.
Yeah. I agree with that one.
Yeah,
I forgot about that, but
Yeah,
it's.
I mean,
but-
he had a lot of issues. That kid coming growing up,
Yeah,
we all know
that's
he was in
true.
the tabloids and everything
yeah,
else. And
they don't leave you alone.
now
But-
he has a life and a child and a wife.
So if
and-
he gets a job somewhere at a deli or something, right? What? They're not going to bother him there.
you must have openings. Could he work here? We might.
We'll hire
let's
him.
get
I'm
the
gonna
prince to come to
send out
Leominster.
a couple of feelers to see if he wants to come and work. But I don't know what they're capable of doing. She did. I mean, she had
She
a
was
career.
on a TV show, wasn't she?
So she had a career. Like Princess Di was like a teacher, and she was a very brilliant lady, and her students loved her and all that. And they're not uneducated people; they're very, bright
he was
people.
just kind of like
But
a gigolo
where-
until he got
I know, but
married.
where do you go when people are going to leave you alone?
I don't know. Where's Paris Hilton now?
I don't know.
That
Wherever
was a
she
name I heard forever and a day. And where'd she
wherever
go?
she feels like. You know what I mean? So a lot of people starting to hit that point in their career where they're like, yeah, whatever. It's kind of like, what was his name? Jay Giles. He hit that point where he was like, I'm just going to play the music I feel like playing.
He lived in Groton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
passed away this past year.
yeah.
But he just decided, he could have went and started touring the country again. And he's just like, I don't know, I'm just going to go down to the Bull Run, and there's a bunch of guys that play down there, and I'm going to go play with them. And that's what makes me
I was
happy.
there recently at the Bull Run.
Well, who was there when you were there?
My friend Toby and I, we were having martinis.
Oh, so there was nobody.
We didn't go to a show.
It's amazing how many. I mean, this is Shirley, and it's just a little town.
My
It's-
mother's from Shirley.
It's amazing how many, big names they.
Right.
James Montgomery. and
Right.
there's a lot of big
Right.
names down
Right.
there.
Right.
It's
It was
kinda
nice
cool.
to see Mark Marquis honored.
Yes,
That was very
he,
nice.
he got the Community
Yeah,
Service Award,
that
the
was
Mayor's
nice.
Community
Nice
Service
touch,
Award.
well deserved.
30-something, 32 years of doing that, you know, the most peaceful night of the year, and then donating all the money back. Now, that's a big production. I mean, if you've been, right? I've been almost every year.
I haven't.
It's a big production. It's a lot of work, and it's a Friday and Saturday night before the holidays, and every single one of those artists could be out performing somewhere else,
Making big dollars.
making big dough, doing
Right.
parties. But
Right.
every single one of them give that up, and so they can.
We have an amazing community. I
We
mean, I
really
don't know
do.
if it's in the water or what it is, because, you know, people will say to me, oh, you do a lot. I'm like, a lot of people here do a lot.
There's a
I
ton.
couldn't do, we
Nobody
could
says
not
no.
have been successful. We're at almost $1.4 million we've raised since, and I was like 42 years old at the time I started this. And there are differences, and there has been progress. And, you know, I don't think I could have done it without this community. I really don't.
Oh no, honestly, I could pick up the phone. Nobody ever says no. I don't care what it is. A parent that had, you know, they had a child that couldn't, you know, that was ill, passed away. They
Right.
didn't have burial costs.
Right,
They didn't have
right,
insurance. Who would ever have insurance on a kid? Pick up the phone, call a few people, done. I don't care what it is.
Right.
You just pick up the phone.
do. We have
you
a great
call,
community.
And some people it's $5, and some people it's 500, and other people it's more or less or whatever. And nobody says no. How can I help?
And because of that, I would like to mention the fact that I'm on the hook for 1,000 tickets
Yeah,
for this event.
let's
And
help
so
you
if
sell
there
them.
are families with hardships, they got a lot of kids, they'd like to go somewhere, reach out to me, okay? Because I got to sell 1,000 tickets, and I need to get butts in the seat. I
Right.
want people to go.
Honestly, this is a good time.
Yep.
You know what? It comes at the appropriate time because, like I said, you get through January, and then what do? You're kind of thinking about what are you going to do, and then where do you take a family?
Right.
And you go here, and it's a ball. It's so much fun from the beginning to the end. It's so much fun, and there's all kinds of people there, and everybody talks to each other. even
They've done a lot with the DCU Center, too. Like, you know, it's not just a not again to get back on food. How do we always end up back talking about food? But it's not just hot dogs and sodas and
No.
anything anymore. They have, like,
Hardly.
chicken nachos. They got all kinds of beer. The Railers have their own draft beer now.
Wow.
I don't know what brewery
I'm
is
hoping
there.
to have my own ice cream someday.
That would be nice. That's funny that you say that. David Roy, who I'm going to visit down in Florida from Leominster, asked me in a text, what kind of ice cream is your favorite? He just wanted to know, and I thought, that's weird. Maybe he's making me ice cream.
Yeah, you think he's got the
I
capabilities?
didn't think Florida
of-
was very big for ice cream. He's got the
I'll
capabilities.
tell you, you can't just find ice cream places
No,
anywhere.
no.
Around here, there's ice cream
Rhoda
stands.
Springs
right.
and, yeah,
But when I was out in
Kimball's.
Wisconsin and stuff, I'm like driving around.
And they have cows.
and
Where do they hide their ice cream?
There's none.
don't know.
There are in little remote towns you can find one, but you know, there's just little small places.
Probably
and-
why we're so happy and,
and
why
it's-
we give so much of ourselves, because we are a community that's close to a lot of ice cream.
Maybe that's what it is. It's not the water. It's the pistachio. People thought I was nuts. Yesterday I was posting things on Facebook, and I said, oh, by the way, it was about the mall. And I said, oh, by the way, my favorite is this 800 number that calls me like 20 times a day.
Lord, huh?
Calm Energy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said,
Oh, yeah.
got enough batteries. And they and I said, mocha chip with strawberry, like a strawberry sundae with strawberry sauce, a little bit of chocolate sauce, and mocha chip ice cream. The blend of taste is just incredible. And people are like, oh my God, that's terrible. I'm like, no, it isn't.
I still think my favorite story about ice cream is we had, you know, I'm on the Beacon of Hope, I help out with the Beacon of Hope, and we had an event down in Auburn, and I took a couple of the participants, and on the way home, one of them doesn't talk very much, but he asked to go for ice cream. Like, you know, if you have enough gumption to ask me to go for ice cream, let's go. Must have been 20 minutes, the three of us, and they read all the flavors. Guess what flavor we all got?
Vanilla.
Yeah.
I know. Can't do that to guys especially. You cannot give us too many choices.
Too many choices, yeah.
6 choices. Let's wrap this baby up here. Once you start getting into
Although Mike DeRusso has gone from chunky monkey to chubby hubby, he decided he wanted
yeah,
to
that's
change
not
flavors.
much of a jump yet. Mike, listen. You know, I've known you to take chances in your lifetime, but going
Hey, he
from
married
that to
me.
that is
He
just
married me. That was a
that's
big
just a
chance.
label change. That's not much of a change at all. Well, good luck and
Thank you.
good news
Thank you.
yesterday that they said that there less cases of melanoma,
Yep.
less cases of cancer.
An actual percentage drop in mortality.
And
yeah.
and
yeah.
even they're saying at stage 4 cancer, the life expectancy has like doubled and what it used to be. So there is a point in case, right? Case in point,
Right.
a good reason to support efforts like this, because it is these very dollars that go back.
And everybody knows someone. And I'm even saying to people, if you want to come support your loved one, if you've got somebody going through it or somebody that beat it, you want to come wear T-shirts, you want to have posters, you want to have a ball. That's what it's all about, you know?
Right.
Be as pink as possible, and let's show Worcester that Leominster, as they call it, North County.
They put us up on the board.
They call it North County, and I want them to know we're Leominster. Let's show them. Yeah, Jumbotron. A lot of kids like the Jumbotron.
That's pretty cool.
I've never been on the Jumbo. Oh, no.
You were on the Zamboni there. What are you talking about? Doesn't get any better than that. Everybody saw you.
I rode the Zamboni at the Bruins game last year,
That's pretty cool.
too.
That is something that most people have never done.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of time here. We're going to shift gears here, kick you out of the studio, and James and Sylvia are probably dancing through the hallways.
They were walking down the hallway, getting a little exercise when I went by earlier.
Doing the electric slide or something.
I had to make sure they knew what channel Leominster Access was on. So.
Well, it's very confusing because depending on if you're on Verizon or Comcast, but then you can watch it on your phone, and it's streaming, and then you can go to the website. I mean, it gets very, very.
But they've definitely been welcome to Leominster. I mean, they
like it here, huh?
Bavenzi's doing a great job with that place, and he does so much for the people that live there.
Going on.
There was a luncheon at Brady's, and they came out and with a cake for my parents. It was their 61st anniversary.
Oh, 61 years.
Yeah.
You and Mike are going to make it, I think.
We've been together 30 years. We've been married 24.
Yeah,
God,
Mike,
thanks for the reminder. That's February 5th. I better remember.
Well, you better make sure you do something. I mean, what do you do? I mean,
we don't do a lot.
Just, hello? Are you still here?
I drove meat down to Mantown. Did you get that?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Kath. Kath, thank you for all you do. And remember, you can buy tickets. They're $15 a piece. Normally, they're $22 to $28. She's got a whole block area. It's really good seats, right? We have a lot of fun. Everybody kind of chats with each other. Even if you don't know people, it's Kathy DeRusso, 60@gmail.com, or you can call her at 978-397-2992. The easiest thing is to call our office.
Yeah, Carl wanted me to hold up my poster.
Yes.
Huh?
And the easiest thing is to call our office, and we'll make sure that people get all the vital, because it's hard to write all this down, remember. So you call us at City Hall, and we've got keep all this stuff right aside of us. And
I'm
you can
trying
buy
to get
tickets
posters up every place I can so that people know while I'm
come
gone.
on down. And if you can't attend and you want to help out, buy the $15 ticket and give it to somebody else, or give it back to you, and you'll make sure that somebody that couldn't afford to go can go.
Exactly.
Taking a short break here at Inside Leominster, and we'll be right back with more Inside Leominster.
Watch and learn more about Mayor Cormier.
January 3rd, 1956, Mayor Loria J. Cormier becomes the 9th mayor of Leominster. He served from 1956 through 1964. January 27th, 1964, Mayor Loria J. Cormier officially resigns from being mayor of Leominster. He had been appointed to work in the U.S. Department of Defense during the Johnson administration. He was the only mayor to resign in office.
Hey, pretty good, huh? And, you know, I had a cassette tape of John Kennedy speaking when he was a senator, speaking at City Hall. Do you know where any of your cassette tapes are? It's somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know where the original came from, but this is probably a copy of a copy. And if anybody has a copy or knows where I can get one, let me know, because it's probably easier to do that than for me to go through all of the cassette tapes I have in probably a million different places and get it that way. But anyway, pretty interesting that Laurie Cormier from 56 to 64. I thought, Ronnie, that he resigned and he went to the, maybe it was called the Department of Defense, but like civil defense. Was it like a branch of civil defense, I thought? He was like the head of the Northeast or something, maybe? Does that ring a bell? We'll get Ronnie on the sound system here. So maybe somebody out there knows and they can let me know, but that's what I thought it was. Anyway, okay, let's move along here. Plenty to talk about. Don't forget to get your tickets, 534-7500, extension 0, and that'll get in touch. So our 2020, we already put out our list of 2020 events. So we've always done it like spring, winter, spring, summer, fall, and then the holiday season. So this year we put out a complete list, and I'm going to read them to you. These are all the different events, and this is only some of them. We didn't put all of them in here. But such as our, no, the Tractor Parade isn't here. So Garden Mania is coming up on the 30th. It's plants that you can buy, and they'll tell you about plants and how to plant, take care of plants and how to transplant them, those kinds of things. There'll be demonstrations. Then Groundhog Day with Featherstone is on the 31st. Restaurant Week, Dine-In Movie, Once Upon a Time, Youth Art Show, the Pizza Crawl, Easter Fun Day, Earth Fest, Citywide Cleanup, Taste of Leominster, Light the Town Purple, Citywide Yard Sale, Summer Stroll, Pink Flamingo Day, Johnny Appleseed Craft Fair Best Festival, Ladies Night Out, Kids Day, Dining Under the Stars, the Food Truck Festival, Citywide Yard Sale, Cannoli Fest, Halloween Parade, Tractor Parade, Festival of Trees, Small Business Saturday, Winter Stroll, and Leominster Lights, just to name a few. Now, if you're a business or you would like to volunteer and help with any of these events, again, give us a call at City Hall. Hey, do we have pictures of the week this week?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's do them. Let's rock and roll to save my soul. Here we go, kids. Pictures of the week. There we are, our inauguration amongst Mr. Charpentier's work. If you'd like to come to City Hall, Ronnie, I don't know if you have a better shot of that, but we have taken all the trees down, but we have Winterfest going on at City Hall. It's a winter wonderland, and we have a log cabin set up. Saturday and Sunday, I think Wendy said that City Hall will be open if people want to come in and take a walk through. Anyway, I'll get you more information about that hopefully before the end of the show if you want to text me, Wendy, or call. But anyway, they're going to keep City Hall open so people can come in. But it's really nice. I mean, people come in and they're blown away. It's I don't know how many of those white trees that you see there with lights. And we have music playing in the background. And Mr. Charpentier's, some of Mr. Charpentier's display is out. And it's a real winter wonderland. It's in the last slide. Okay. Thank you, Wendy. And off we go. Madeline Montree, what an amazing voice. If you didn't get a chance to watch the inauguration, she just blew the place away. What a great song she picked, and what a voice. Jim Lanciani Award goes to Rick Marchand, and we were happy and pleased and honored to be able to give that to Rick. He's involved in everything. I won't even give you a partial list of the things that he's involved in. And Mark Marquis and family and Johnny Gerard, and that award goes to Mark Marquis for organizing and his friends for organizing these charitable events for 32 years. And Kate Himmer was awarded the Community Service Award, and she's raising money. Her father passed away. All the money that went to in his memorial, in name of his memorial, and other money that she's raising is going to go to help students who could not afford to go to the Washington, D.C. trip in the 8th grade. And what a great cause. Young talent, Selene and Thalia is Feliciano, and great job, great dancers. And you could just tell as they progress in their learning and study, they're just going to be two remarkable ladies. And the official swearing in. The Montechusett Chorale, actually it was the inauguration chorus. Some members of the Montechusett Chorale there, and again did a great job. It was a great addition. And then the police, fire, and emergency management honor guards, we want to thank them. It's a true honor to be escorted in, and I speak on behalf of the City Council, I know the school committee and others that were sworn in that night, to see them coming in. They look sharp and dignified, and a proud moment not only for them, but for us as well. And the song Birds are always a big hit, and they sang 2 or 3 songs, and they always seem to steal the show. Great job. Thank you, Debbie and the Songbirds. And there we are at Southern Daisy's Boutique. You saw the little commercial that we did there. Go and visit them right at 14 Manning Ave. And if you have, sort of the higher end clothing line and it's in great shape and you want to take it over because it doesn't fit or you don't wear it anymore or you retire, you not wear those, dressing up and wearing all those cool little business suits, then stop over there and chat with any of the staff and they'll tell you all about, how it works. And there's the police station committee meeting, and we picked the architect for the police station today. And so they will start probably around February 1st, actually in the design of the building. So a lot more to come. We have a website set up. We'll be pumping up all of the information that we have. We'll share with you so you can follow along with the new building of the police station. And there they are. There's our a little sample of the display of what you'll see. So you know what? If you're looking for something to do, come on down. So it'll be open January 18th and then January 25th from 2 to 4. And yeah, stop by. It's pretty cool. You'll really be pleased that you took your kids or relatives or whatever. And it's not, the Christmas decorations, those are gone. But there'll also be cider and snacks on the 18th and the 25th. So that should really, there's no charge for it. Just come down to City Hall at John R. Tater Auditorium, and there we are for the of the week. Let's see what else we have. Project Apples, Leominster CFCE literacy activities. On the 13th of January, Growing Readers celebrates author Doreen Cronin. Ages 2 to 5 and their families are invited to join the celebration of books that Doreen Cronin wrote. Families will enjoy stories followed by related art and sensory activities. Please note the author will not be present. Registration is required and starts 1/6. You can register now. 978-534-7522. Extension 5. Then Baby Bookworms, 113. 114, Family Fun Night, full steam ahead with snow investigation. Let It Snow, children's age 3 to 7. And all of this you can find by going to the Project Apple's website, or you can again call us. There's so many different events, play groups that they have, and everything again is sponsored by Project. Sorry about that. Apples. 978-537-7760. That's the number to call. Learn how to borrow. Bring your own device and learn how to borrow free. So you can bring your device and they're going to show you how you can borrow books, e-books, and e-audio. Now, I'm a very visual person. If you sit with me and explain to me how to do something, I will remember that and do it in the exact order, in the exact way that you showed me. Many people are like that. You got this, you got this whole thing going, and you've got this nice electronic device, and you know how to use a few things from it, but not everything. All you have to do is come Wednesday, January 22nd from 4 to 7, and library staff will be there, and you can register in advance, beginning now, for a 30-minute slot. So you just go down there, they're going to like, so how do I do this? Or how do I post on Facebook? Or how do I copy and paste? Something as simple as that. Nothing to be embarrassed about. And Theater of the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Leominster Public Library invites you to a special performance Sunday, January 12th. Join us as we host the acclaimed Stephen Collins for his performance of the play. The 30s through the 50s represent a period of American theatrical history. The influence and the reaction to the Great Depression is evident in the work of William Sarragon. The 40s saw the talent of three great playwrights emerge: Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, Eugene O'Neill. Collins performs monologues from these and other playwrights, and may even sing a Cole Porter or George Gershwin tune to round off this event. So I can already tell that this is going to be a very popular event, 2 to 3:30, Leominster Public Library, January 12th. So, yeah, don't miss that. Let's see what else we got going here. That's the library, Pink in the Rink, and the Bay State Multicultural Landscape Photographs of New Americans with Mark Chester. Leominster Public Library's January 20th, from a collection of over 400 photographs representing more than 190 countries and territories, and informal and environmental portraits documenting ethnic diversity in Massachusetts, summarize subjects of various stations: foreign-born, naturalized United States citizens residing in the Commonwealth, individuals looking into camera, telling stories through expression, place, and poise. So, a Bay State multicultural landscape photographs of New Americans coming up as a display in January and February. 2020, can you believe it? A couple of minutes left here. So I'll talk a little bit. The big talk of last couple of days was the mall. And Macy's closing, which I sort of think that maybe that was a mistake. And I don't know all the inner workings of the company. They also own Bloomingdale's. They used to be Filene's. Remember that whole sequence of events? They sort of merged with Jordan Marsh, and they got bigger, and then they took on Bloomingdale's and even got bigger. And so I think the idea is that everybody's going to shop online. That's not the case at all. It's still a big portion of the people that shop still shop in bricks and mortar. And so what will change is what they call sort of the omni experience, which is, and I said this, I went to JCPenney. I needed some shirts. I wear a certain kind of shirt. It has those expandable necks. Nobody carried them. I talked about it on the show like 10 years ago. I said, this is like the best shirt in the world, and it wears well, and it's just got the I hate having that tie pulled up in your neck, and just feels like, that the whole neck's hanging over it and stuff. So nobody else. Now there's a number of manufacturers that make the same kind of shirt, I guess. But so anyway, I went down to JCPenney. I said, I need a couple of shirts. And they said, geez, we have 5 listed in the computer, but we can't find them. And I couldn't find them. That's why I asked. And they said, geez, we can't find them. I literally went through every single white shirt in the place at the time. And then finally they said, can we help? They must have saw me. And I said, they said, can we help you? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for this particular shirt. It's a performance shirt. It's got the stretch neck. It's got this, and this is my size, and I can't find it. They said, well, it shows we have 3. So after a while, they just said, you know what? They were on sale last week. Tell you what, we'll give you the sale price, and we'll just ship it to your house rather than make you stay here all night long. And I said, well, really? I said, how long will it take? They said, just a couple of days. And they said, how many do you want? I said, like 6 or 8. And they said, really? I said, sure, just because I'll have them. And within 2 days, and they said, well, you can ship them here, and you can pick them up here, or just ship them to your house. And I said, just ship them to my house, that's fine. So the experience of shopping is sometimes you want to go and touch and feel a product, right? So I will not buy a pair of shoes online. I have to go and see the shoes, right? You've seen people buy shoes. They go through like 30 pair of shoes. They walk up and down. They got to look in the mirror. They got to do a somersault. They got to take one leg and wrap it around their head. I don't know, this whole thing about shoes. So I know people, other people say I've had great experience of buying shoes online. I don't, and I won't. And there are things like shirts and things that people need to see and touch and feel and try on and all that. So the omni experience is really about the convenience. So today I feel like shopping, so I go shopping. Tomorrow I don't have time. I need something. I need it for the weekend, and I'm never going to have a minute, so I may as well just have it shipped to my house. There's that option. Or somebody says, I don't have time to go shopping, it's a really busy week, I have people coming to visit, and you order everything and you drive up to either Walmart or Hannaford or one of those places and you pick it up. And then there's other companies that will actually deliver it to you. So it's really about having more options. So retail isn't gone, it's changing. And so obviously the whole Sears I don't think anybody was shocked by that. That was sort of coming over time. And then, Macy's, which I think kind of, based on now, if everybody I talked to who sort of interacted with me and engaged said they spent as much money and shopped at JCPenney as much as they did, Macy's as they did, maybe it was a mistake to close them. And, but anyway, so that takes two out of the picture. There's about 700 and something thousand square feet of retail space at the mall. Total in the city is about 3 million square feet of space. Now that includes Market Basket, and that whole area down there is 700 and something thousand square feet. So the new owners, simultaneously, they didn't know they knew about Sears, but they didn't know about Macy's. But in my conversations with them, they said, we still would have bought it, no question. They're excited, and there were 4 individual groups that were looking to purchase the mall, all very excited. And some of the things they said is the demographics, the amount of money there is in the area, the amount of people that there are within 5, 10, 15 miles of the mall, the fact that this is the only mall of its kind that has a walkable area where people actually walk to the mall. Like, they were floored to see that there are various neighborhoods within the city that feed the mall. And the fact of its locations, geographic location at the intersection of 2, and remember, Interstate 190. Along with that, you're not far from 117. You've got all that highway traffic, that traffic that comes from Route 13, north and south. That's about 27,000 cars a day. They see all this, and Route 12, close proximity to everything. And for them, coming from the outside, they look at it and say, no, they're really excited about this. We see tremendous amount of opportunity. And I'll say this and say it again, Milton Cooper and Kimco was pretty much the original company that owned the mall. They were mostly strip mall, like the largest in the country of the world, strip mall developers, and they own this mall. They sold it to a company that I think had some investors behind it, but they weren't big mall developers or owners. And then that ended up getting sold to these people and this to this previous group. And they, the actual owner was very excited about the mall and investing in the mall and repurposing the mall and repositioning it. He passed away. A really, really, really nice guy that was really excited. And anyway, and then his family decided this is not what they wanted to do, and this was pretty much his thing and his investors. And then the company was sold, and it sold to a company called Hull and Property Group, I think is what it is. They are out of Augusta, Georgia. This is what they do. They do malls. I know I had said on a number of occasions, I had floated the idea maybe they'll do housing. Well, somehow or another, the rumor started that they're going to knock the mall down to put housing. Then there was another rumor they were going to close the mall. Then there's a rumor that, and it just went on, and I've been trying to just sort of correct that, get it straightened out, and get off, get the facts separated from the rumors. And so it was me that said, well, Leominster needs some housing. Maybe there is a combination of housing. I was the one that was sort of floating those ideas, not the mall developers. They're not housing developers, although they do partner sometimes on housing. So they are not, they are mall developers. They are excited. They will come in, and the first thing they do is obviously stabilize. Keep the tenants that they have, keep those tenants in there, start to fluff up the mall, start to bring people back to the mall. You remember at one time when Kimco owned the mall, there was something going on over there every Friday night, Saturdays, Sundays. There was home shows, and every group had something going on, demonstrations. The high school band would perform down there. There was always something. That brings people. I think you'll see that they'll begin to sort of introduce events that are downtown, that are in the mall, things that will bring people to the mall. Create the foot traffic. then I think you'll see a plan. They'll come forward with a plan to reposition and repurpose the mall, get some restaurants on the outside or maybe the inside. But none of this is going to happen overnight. And I know that sometimes people are impatient, but the industry didn't turn this way overnight. It's not going to get itself sort of repositioned. It's going to take some time. We are setting up basically a transition team to work with them and others. So that we can, they're from mostly down south. They do have a mall in Poughkeepsie, which I'll visit. And so they're mostly in the south. And so a lot of what happens here in Massachusetts in the Northeast is a little bit different than what happens in other areas. So we're going to be there to sort of help them through the transition and the learning curve. But they are, again, 4 different groups bid. 2 of them were excellent. I think all of them were excited about the potential to come here to Leominster. There were no drawbacks, and they were certainly well aware of the new sort of retail environment that's out there. But, think about it. There was a cherry web and terrain at the mall. And remember when that left, people thought, this is the end of the mall. This is it. They lost a big tenant. And then Sage Allen built a new building. And then Sage Allen left. And go back to the days of Woolworths when nothing sat in that spot where Woolworths was for years. And then obviously things change. Economy changes. People's buying habits change. And the mall got pretty much filled again. And then came places like JCPenney, and then came Macy's. But then came this whole era of demalling the mall, so that businesses that were in the mall, places like Burlington, Coat Factory, or I guess they call themselves Burlington, or what's the other one I'm thinking of? Panera Bread, and a lot of those businesses, they had access to the mall, but they also had direct access from the outside. So that's what we say when we're talking about demalling. So we went through that era of demalling. So there's been so many different phases of people's buying and shopping patterns, and the retail world changes so very quickly. Retailers, in many cases, don't need as much space as they used to. For example, Staples downsized a couple of different times. They might even downsize one more time. They just don't need all the space they could. Why? Because at one time, if you needed to have your store filled with inventory versus the fact that today, they're building these big warehouses all over. You don't need to carry that kind of inventory because you can have that product the next day in the store, or you can ship it to somebody's house literally the next day. So stay tuned. There's a lot going on. Nothing will happen overnight. Be patient. The mall isn't going to close. The mall isn't going to die. Retail isn't gone. As I said, 3 million square feet here in the city, and we're going to have some ups and downs in terms of the industry. It'll shake itself out. These people are good. They've owned 32 malls. They know what they're doing. They'll reposition the mall, and there'll be new names, and some businesses will go in, some will come out. But as the guy that sells pretzels down there said, he's never had a year where he didn't do better than the previous year, and he said that this mall does better than, in terms of his sales, does actually better than the one in Auburn. Out of time here. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You need to show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you through the generous support of Colonial Insulation Company, residential and commercial insulation and fireproofing services, specializing in blown-in cellulose as well as spray foam insulation. For more information, visit their website, colonialinsulation.com. And by Medical Arts Hearing Instruments, 52 West Street in Leominster, locally and authentically providing better hearing and quality of life since 1978. www.donot shout.com.